Hey guys, Josh here from Boorman Lawyers. I'm in the beautiful Blacktown, just outside the Blacktown Local Court out in Western Sydney. Today I've appeared for a young guy who was charged with 2 offences today, which were before the court. One was a aggravated burnout offence, and the other was a suspended driving offence. Now, there's 2 types of burnout offences which can be laid by the police. There's one very sort of more minor level burnout offence, for example, when someone takes off too quickly from a set of lights and they lose traction of their wheels, makes a bit of noise, or there's some excessive smoke. That offence can be laid. However, where there is more of a protracted sustained loss of traction of the tyres, or there's a greater intent to create and cause a significant burnout, then it's aggravated, and then it's kind of classified as a hooning type of offence. And this is the type of category that our client was charged with today, a section 116(2)(b) of the Road Transport Act 2013. So that was the most serious offence before the court today, and it certainly didn't help my client that he had some prior demerit point infringements, and that he wasn't aware that his licence was suspended at the time. He's only 18 years of age. He's an apprentice auto mechanic, so obviously his licence is pretty needed to perform his job, to move vehicles and to test vehicles post-repair. He's a 3rd-year apprentice mechanic, but he's been with his employer now for the last 6 months. He's obviously disclosed to his employer that he can't drive. Thankfully, his employer hasn't just terminated him on the spot, but they're trying to navigate their way around how he can still fit in and work without the ability to operate a vehicle. So that's his personal situation. He's a young man. I think he's got some ongoing mental health issues that have been unaddressed. He's mentioned that he's got some unresolved childhood trauma, a bit of anxiety, impulsive behaviour. So there could be some issues there, which I've suggested he go along to his GP and get referred to a psychologist to certainly explore whether some counselling would be fruitful for him moving forward. Certainly sweeping any significant issues, mental health issues, under the rug is not a way to address these issues. So for his own being, I've suggested that. He seems open to exploring those options. But getting back to the case at hand, basically, he had attended a car meetup in Eastern Creek. It was a meetup with a whole range of modified vehicles, hooning activities pretty regular at these sorts of events. Police had been tipped off to basically shut the event down. It was a pretty organised police intercept where police Pole Air, their police helicopter, attended the scene. It was through Pole Air that they actually recorded my client performing the burnout, and then tracked my client getting out of his vehicle and walking off into the crowd of where his friends were. Police attended the scene on foot. They caught up with my client. He initially denied it, but then realised that the game was up. He fully confessed and cooperated with police. He was charged with this offence. The legislation says that the starting point for this type of aggravated burnout is 12 months off the road. For a suspended drive, it's 3 to 6 months for a first offence. So certainly he was facing some significant time off the road. Now he did put together a good, strong letter of apology to the court. He got a letter from his a relative saying good things about him. He actually went and followed our advice and completed the traffic offenders program. I really framed to the court that this was an immature act. He was spurred on by some friends. There was a level of peer pressure which was involved. His decision to get in and perform the burnout was kind of showing off. It was very immature, which led to his poor and reckless behaviour. Thankfully, no passengers in the car. The crowd was well away from the incident. It was in a isolated industrial area, so no moving traffic was put at risk, or people or pedestrians or people in public were put at risk of his behaviour. Nevertheless, it was conceded it was a risky and dangerous behaviour by him. I was asking the court not to bring down a crushing disqualification given his young age, his level of immaturity, and the fact that he needs his licence to perform his job. I did mention that certainly having gone through the court process and the traffic offenders program, it's been a massive wake-up call for him, and he's had to quickly learn that his decisions and actions certainly have consequences. So I did request that the court consider reducing the period of disqualification from 12 months down to 6 months. And that was for the aggravated burnout. For the suspended driving, I asked for the minimum disqualification of 3 months. Now, both of those disqualification periods will start from today, so ultimately the 6 months will eat up the 3 months. It'll run at the same time on a concurrent basis, and he was also given some pretty hefty fines. So for the aggravated burnout, it was $1,500 and $1,000 for the suspended drive. The fines were slightly higher than expected, but the period of disqualification was significantly less than I expected. So we were able to persuade the magistrate to give him less time off the road, but it came with a little bit higher penalties, fines than usual, which our client quite honestly preferred. So yeah, that was the matter before court today. It went very smoothly. Our client was extremely happy, and he can move forward having taken away some big lessons. He needs to grow up and act with a greater level of care, judgment and responsibility, and I think the penny's dropped that the cops are out there. They're going to catch people doing the wrong thing, and that hooning offences are not taken lightly. He's been given a bit of a reprieve in relation to penalties on this occasion. It is worth noting that obviously due to infringements having suspended his licence, that his traffic record for a young provisional 1 holder wasn't the best anyway. But all these issues that I've mentioned previously were taken into account, and he was given a very fair and measured outcome today. So thanks for tuning here at the beautiful Blacktown Local Court, and we'll see you in the next episode.
I want to thank you for tuning into Boorman Lawyers today. You can catch us at any of the usual social media platforms. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you've got any questions or queries, please don't hesitate to contact us on 1300 941 900.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning into this video today. I really hope it was informative and helpful for you. There's another couple of videos below that you might want to check out that may be very useful for the process that you might be going through at the moment. Please feel free to like, follow, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we've always got fresh new content coming through all the time.